Alrighty. Well, this is the first weekly update during the implementation phase of our senior capstone project for Robert Brandon Wright. As talked about in the proposal document, in our work breakdown schedule or what have you, our first week was going to be dedicated to pre-planning and design documentation. So a vast majority of our time was just dedicated to designing this document that you see on screen in front of you, as well as making sure the exact space and dimensions are finalized before we go in next week and actually implement the said build based on the design that I have in front of you. And I will painstakingly go through great lengths to explain what is going on here. So, as we see here, this is the sim room where the nursing students will be. Let me just go ahead and undo that. And in that room, they'll be speaking through a mic here, and that mic is going to go up through the ceiling through an XLR cable into an audio mixer. Then we have a controlled camera that is going to have an HDMI cord and a serial cable come out of it through the ceiling into this camera controller and this HDMI capture card. The HDMI capture card is going to go in to this computer to have the video captured on the computer. The camera controller is just like it says. It is going to remotely control the tilt, pan, and zoom out for this camera right here. Let me just get rid of these markings. So that's the camera. Next are the speakers in the room. It's pretty important. We have the XLR routed up through here into our audio mixer. It is in the effects sends, which is going to be important as we want to have a different control of that than your actual main left-right into the room, because you don't want the nursing sim student talking and then their own audio coming out the speaker towards them. So that's how we got that routed. That covers the sim room in terms of its physical build. In terms of what's going to go through the ceiling, just to do a recap, we have a serial connection, we have an HDMI, we have two XLRs, and we have how they're routed over the ceiling here, and also the length of the cable that we are going to be using next week. Now, in our control room, which I have labeled here, I have a blown up rectangle that is going to represent the table in said control room. In the control room, we're going to have the PC, the headphone attached to PC for audio monitoring, the HDMI capture that is hooked up and powered via USB to the computer, the camera controller, which we've already discussed when we talked about the camera over in the sim room, and the piece of resistance, we got the audio mixer. We have a second pair of headphones hooked up to the phones port on here, so they could just listen in to the audio mixer entirely. We have a mic on the desk here that is going to be used to talk to the nursing student in the sim lab, so they can hear them over the speaker. And then, let me make sure I got this. The mic channel. And yes, we discussed how this speaker was going to go to the FX sends, but this speaker is going to go into one of the mic channels on the audio mixer. And the computer is going to get the audio mix, the main left-right audio mix, through a USB connection to the PC. So while this design document is very useful for next week, especially with the actual build, to help us even more next week, after we did the full design document, we have a final packing list here to make sure on Monday when we get in there and start taking down ceiling tiles that we make sure we bring everything with us. And also, just to explain, the big two things hooked into the PC that we'll be playing with in a few weeks' time when we actually implement the script and do a test for full recording functionality is the HDMI capture card that is capturing the camera, video, and they're going to get all their audio via USB connection to the audio mixer that is getting this mic for the nursing student, this mic for the instructor, and the student will be, and this is outside of the USB connection, but the student will be getting audio through this FX Send channel to the sim room. Next week is going to be a doozy. Expect a lot more photos of what we build and as well a recorded demo. That should be fun. Hope you had fun seeing me mark over our design document. We took a lot of time to get things going with that. See you next week.